Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves some more South American action here in Division 2 tonight. My name is DkTruman, and I am joined once again by Rayuur. Thank you very much for joining me.
Hello.
Well, Rayuur, right now, of course, we previously saw a series where Noping pretty much got destroyed by South Team. A big upset, definitely. Not to expected, really, but South Team looked incredibly talented against the Noping side. Noping also definitely did have some struggles. However, that is the previous series. Right now, we're going to get ready for the Balrogs versus the Dreamers. Of course, Balrogs dropping from Division 1 last season. Dreamers getting very close to promotion, actually, as well. So a couple of changes in both rosters did come through. A bunch of players from Omega joined the Dreamers side, and Balrogs, they replaced some players, but they got them back. Definitely some change-ups. However, they will be playing with a substitute on the side of the Balrog, so that always is a little bit more problematic. However, looking at these two teams, what are your takes on both their positions?
I think Balrogs is a solid team for a Division 2. Their game against Curitiba was they're kind of close to end the game a couple of times, but I think Curitiba just managed to get the series. I think there was one game that Curitiba base raced them. If I'm not wrong, there was a base race. The Balrogs was winning, and they lose with like a 10k advantage or something like that. And on the Dreamers, I want to see them in action. Like, they just got no ping 2-0. They just dropped no ping 2 games in a row without a difficulty. So I want to see what they take.
Yeah,
What they have. Sorry.
yeah, definitely agree with you on that one. The Dreamers lineup, of course, they got Lissex, Dark Demon, and Chan, all three from Omega Gaming from last season. And they added them to, well, Hook, which they got recently as well. And then Miji is the only one that is still pretty much the same from the previous roster. So, for the most part, almost a completely new affair in that regard. So, that's going to be definitely very interesting to see how they perform. Because, well, we don't really know where Noping kind of stands after what we saw in the previous series. So that definitely going to be a big test. I would say a test for like the middle pack, who's going to get third, fourth, fifth, sixth, because right now it looks very likely that we do have our two top dogs in SA Division 2 with Curitiba and Ravens just looking so incredibly solid.
Yeah, every time that any team just begins the DPC by just losing 2 games in a row, it's like they can't go to the Division 1 anymore. They depend so much on results, and they depend on tiebreakers, and like you can't commit on that on the DPC. You just gotta join with the mentality that you're going to destroy everyone and win every game. So it's kind of tough, the spot that no ping is right now.
Yep. I mean, Noping's chances. There's of course a chance if they win everything, they still probably advance. Granted, but for the most part, they can't slip up a single time. However, Dreamers did, of course, manage to take the series off of Noping, so they are 1-0. If they win this series, then they're tied up with Curitiba and Ravens for that top spot in the groups. Balrogs did lose their first series, but again, that was against Curitiba, who they got pretty close, which is impressive. And Curitiba, ex-Apu King of Kings, definitely, a very star-studded lineup.
Yeah, really solid team.
Yeah, so there's no harm in losing against such a dangerous team. Same with the Ravens, to be fair. Like Dad, Benjas, Dismarkara, and Nengo Flow look incredibly solid as well this time around. But the Dreamers definitely want to also fight for that top spot. So if they can take this win, they definitely make a nice leap closer towards the top of the pack. However, Balrogs, they can't have the same problems as Noping. They can't afford to get a loss here as well, especially for a team that got relegated towards Division 2. Want to try and grind their way back towards that Division 1 position.
Um, I think on this game right now, Bargs and Dreamers, both teams have bigger chance to winning. think it's an even matchup. Like, I don't have so much idea on who's going to win this series, but I think I'm going to stay with Balrogs because I have Balrogs have more experienced players than Dreamers. And I think winning no ping from 2-0, like just saw soft team just destroying them on the last series. It's a big deal. I rather be with Balrogs because they almost win against Curitiba, and Curitiba is a really strong team. Everyone is just leaving the lobby.
Yeah,
Oh, there's an update.
yeah, Dota update, so
Okay.
that's always fun. That we have to quickly resolve. Yeah, I kind of am on the other end though. Mainly because they're playing with the substitute. On the side of Balrogs, they're playing with Sole instead of King Tekka. And I also like the players on the Dreamer side. I really like that. I personally thought that their 3 hero player combo, Lissex, Dark Demon, and Shan, were the strongest like supporting staff last season on Omega. The course definitely did struggle, but I personally think that they are, as like a group, to support their main 2 cores, have been incredibly exceptional, and especially the fact that they all joined together, and you still have that core. And then, of course, the safe laner and mid laner are very important, but they can pretty much fit in every team if the rotations and coordination of the rest is up to snuff.
I think Balrog just getting someone standing for King Tekka, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not the ideal situation that you want to have in a DPC match, like just losing one teammate and have to bring in standing. But I don't know. I think Balrog's a stronger team overall.
Okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be the case. Both these teams, I quickly did check out, tend to be a little bit more aggressive in their approach. Balrogs like heroes like the DK, Death Prophet, Nate's Prophet, so Wraith King, a lot of pushing behind them, a lot of early game aggression in that regard. Dreamers do also like the DK and the Death Prophet, and slightly less aggressive, more mid-game kind of performance. So Balrogs look like the more kind of pushy draft to try to, like South Team that we saw previously, where you just want to run the enemy down. Slightly less so for the Dreamer side. So we might get to see both teams trying to go for a bit of a mid-game draft. Would not be too surprising to me, considering their hero pool and just in general what their safe laners like to pick and that such.
It's kind of hard to speculate right now what kind of draft they have because we have so much. We don't have so much games to have a deep analysis on. Like, this team like to pick faster heroes, they like to pick cheese heroes and etc. But it's not the case of the soft team because they already have Hermit, who is a player that just it's known for spamming these weird heroes on the offlane like Lycan, Beastmaster, Pugna, etc. So I think soft team by example is going to be one of the teams right now that everyone knows what they're going to pick. But on the side of Dreamers and Balrogs, I kind of don't have an idea.
I think they're kind of like mid-game type of lineups, not super aggressive on the early game.
Some classic SA Dota, just pick Duza, everyone farm, get some spirits in the mid lane,
like
etc.
a wolf team kind of thing, pick Deuce every single time for HFN.
Nah, they just pick Monkey on the last game and they just got destroyed.
Yeah, but that's, it happens. Division 1 is very tough this season. And, well, we have the lobby recreated. Both games so far today, both series at least, starting a little bit later because of some technical issues and the like coming through. But yeah, these 2 teams, I'm definitely looking very much forward. I don't think they're very, as you said, cheese hero kind of pickers. They just play like normal default Dota. Maybe with the patch changes, they slightly subvert from their choices because, well, well, I know Dark Demon likes to play his Mirana. I know Pamplona likes to play his Mirana. But Mirana has been slightly picked less after the recent changes as well. Don't really know necessarily why. Maybe because DK and Mars just don't get picked up as much anymore in the off-lane position. I'm really curious to see how they are going to adjust to everything. Still, you know, you're most likely going to look for a hero that builds up the Wraith Pact because it's still broken. How ridiculous that item is.
Most players just have the same hero pool as other players here on South America. Like everyone plays the same heroes. It's kind of strange when I have you have low players, a really small quantity of players playing like the black sheep. You know, you have you have Hermit who plays like offlane, Beastmaster, these weird heroes. You have FCR who was former players of Interactus just spamming bizarre carries like Timber, like Sniper, Arc Warden. I think it's what we lack here on the region, like diversity. You know, have some new stuff happening. There's some players on Division 1 that pick some bizarre heroes on the mid lane, like Chris Luck and Dark Magus. Sometimes we already see like Abaddon mid lane. It's kind of strange, but it's fun to watch. I think we should have more of that.
I'm actually curious. I remember Lissex playing a Darkseer. Was that the game that we casted together against like Parker or someone where he played Darkseer and Dark Demon played the Shadow Demon? And I think it was against the Dusa where they created like 50 million illusions of the Dusa the entire time. I think it was them. I can't remember though.
I kind of remember this game, but so much time. There's so much games happening before that, after that.
I think
I'm terrible to remembering the games. Like my teammate just come to me. Oh, do you remember that game that we just picked dudes and that happened? No, I don't remember, man. I have no idea at all.
Yeah, I mean, normally I have that same stuff as well, but I that was definitely a game that I don't even know who played the Dusa. It might have been Parker. But it was definitely like a very fun showdown because, well, they just created illusions on a hero that did not build BKB and went for a Daedalus. I think even went for a Butterfly on the Deuce. That was the biggest issue. But regardless, we'll see if that's going to happen. That does mean, of course, that Lissex is also a Darkseer player, which is pretty fun. I mean, it's not necessarily cheese, but it does have some pretty interesting additions to your possible hero pool, especially with like TB picked up upon the opponent. However, the draft is starting right now, or at least the banning phase, so we'll be jumping in right now to see what heroes will be chosen. And I do hope to get to see some at least very aggressive Dota. I'm looking forward to some fun laning stage shenanigans.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Marcy.
Everyone bans Marcy.
Ban. Zero. He just got nerfed a lot, but it's really annoying. He's like a Tiny, you know. He's a better Tiny on the beginning of the game. On the mid game, they just banned Tiny. they don't want to deal with Tiny situations. Marcy's like a Tiny.
It's a strange hero because honestly, in my pubs I barely encounter it. Very occasionally, but most games that I see from the professionals, they either ban or pick it, and then if they pick it, it's almost always a position 5. Because it does have some very nice combinations. I do miss like the older Marcy, where you could jump off of enemies. That was kind of cool.
Nah, that was kind of broken.
Still,
it was so bizarre.
It was cool. You could get like the mid lane Marcy where you just rush BKB Basher and you just didn't die.
They just banned the king.
Ban DK. It feels so weird to have your bans being a DK Doom. Feels so weak.
It's okay that they have 6-7. Dreamers have the second pick. They could just pick like Doom and DK and Hoodwink maybe. So They want to prevent that. The first two bans, it depends on the team that you're playing against, or it depends the players. Like
10
if
seconds
you
remain.
you're playing against a team that has someone that just ban an
5
annoying hero, you
seconds
just ban
remain.
him on the first phase. You don't give them room to pick.
Yeah, true. I don't see that many DK picks anymore, and Doom feels like okay-ish. I guess
Dire must
because they're
choose.
playing Beastmaster, you don't want to get your Beastmaster creeps nommed the entire time by the Doom. Mirana chosen for the Dreamers. We did talk about it, of course. Pamplona and Dark Demon, both very heavy
Admiral
Mirana
Kunkka.
players. Get rid of a DK, that's a nice setup for him. Kunkka is also a very good setup and a flexible choice in terms of like mid, safe lane, off lane if possible, and can set up very good arrow combos.
I don't think this hero is good anymore.
10 seconds.
Flexing. I mean, I don't like Kunkka
5
carry, and I
seconds
think
remain.
he's not the best mid laner right now. I think we have better options on the meta, especially because we have Riftback that is on the meta, and Vessel. It's almost every game, and I think Kunkka is really bad against those, especially because he's a strength hero.
It is Radiant's ban.
Just pick Snapfire.
Kunkka, yeah, I get your point. They might actually play it as a safe. If I'm not mistaken, Kunkka does play it as a safe, and they might consider, to try and counter the Beastmaster. But with the Snapfire on the Balrog side, you already have to be very careful of heavy push, very early Roshante capabilities.
10 seconds remain.
So it might just be Dreamers trying to build up a bit of a
Radiant's turn
wave
to
clear
ban.
kind of lineup.
They're protecting the Kunkka. It's a Kunkka mid probably.
Dire's
Spinning
turn to
bad.
ban.
I've also seen some decent
ban
Weaver
Weaver?
safe lanes coming
What?
up.
Yeah, that's what I think right now. Why they ban Weaver? Isn't Beastmaster insanely good against Weaver? Just press R.
10
She
seconds.
dies.
Yeah, it might depend on the heroes that they
5
want to pick
seconds.
afterwards, and you're like a little bit afraid of, that Roar is the only way that you can control a Weaver, I guess. Because Snapfire hitting a cookie stun on a Weaver is very hard.
Radiant's turn to ban.
I find really annoying playing Weaver against Beastmaster. Like, you need to rush your Linkings, and most of the games you don't want to go Linkings first item or second item because his heroes lack damage. But maybe it's,
Dire's turn
I don't
to
know,
ban.
maybe they just screens against Dreamers and they were surprised with a Weaver pick.
Timbersaw
Timber
ban.
ban, it's a nice ban.
Yeah, 2 strength heroes already.
Protecting the Beastmaster.
Lissek's also a very good Timbersaw player.
10 seconds.
So, you think that this
5
is going to be a
seconds.
mid Kunkka or Miji?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and
They are bunny mid laners.
Quiere ganar,
Make sure he
gana,
doesn't have any
gana,
any problems in the lane.
do you still think that they have it as, the chance to possibly flex it? They do have last pick in that regard. Or do you think it's just 100% Kunkka mid?
No, when you have last pick, you can just flex the entire draft, and the last pick always make sure you fixes the draft. If you pick too many flexes, the last pick is going to solve this problem most of the times when you have the last pick. But I mean,
Dire's turn to pick.
they just ban another hero. I think this Kunkka is going to be mid. If they want to flex this hero, they just ban Bat Rider and get 2 more bans, like 2 more carries, to make sure if this Kunkka go to the carry, he doesn't get a bad matchup.
10 seconds remain.
Yeah,
5
kind of
seconds
do
remain.
tend to agree. I mean, they're playing a lot more like default. Maybe Beastmaster a little bit different, but a lot of default picks here coming through. No big surprises. That actually does change things a little bit. Dawnbreaker. I have seen a lot of safe lane Dawnbreakers as of late. Do you think that might be here present as well?
10 seconds.
I like when the zero go core. I think people used to
Double
subestimate this zero a lot. The damage, and she just got buffed on the last patch. If I'm not wrong, the passive is giving 200% bonus on heal and crit. It's really OP.
Think the damage got increased, but the healing got reduced. But then again, because you increase the damage, the healing also goes up. So I think they scaled that one to be equal or something. Like
It's 60% heal and 200% critical damage.
how much? Was
It's
the
a lot.
heal previously?
I gotta check here. Wait.
Quickly look up the patch notes.
Oh, I'm panicking. Where's the patch notes?
Plus, it's really good to clear up the Beastmaster boars in the laning stage itself. Pretty solid, very tanky. You always have that global presence with the rest of your team. You can just kind of like a Spectre does, where you just farm.
Actually, the heal was the same.
Oh,
You just moved the crit.
Turn to pick.
Green and Void.
Void incarnate.
I like Green and Void. Too much damage. Every hero that Void Spirit jumps, it's like insta dead with Grimstroke. Inkswell, Astro Step. Someone is dead.
Soulbind, double roar.
10 seconds remain.
Soulbind also really good against the Dawnbreaker to make sure you can't
5
move.
seconds
Or she
remain.
can move. Making it pretty rough to make any plays. But definitely not impossible. I mean, I'm hoping that this is a safe lane Dawnbreaker. I've been loving it a lot. I think Rari plays it in the Eastern Europe region a lot in Hydra. And it always surprises me how much work this hero does. Of course, it has some heroes where it's really bad against. But for the most part, it can handle most safe laners in the game. Because it does an incredible amount of damage. And as previously mentioned, it has that kind of Spectre vibe where you just keep on farming the safe lane or the jungle. And your team can make plays around the map, and in a split second, you join them with your ulti.
Mm-hmm. Is the game paused?
It is Radiant's
No.
ban.
What?
BB.
Okay, that's a...
Mm.
Now I have no idea what they're doing.
Batrard is banned, Chamber is banned. They need to ban Necro and Viper to make sure this Bristleback will work.
So
10
the
seconds
Bristleback, do you think... what do you think this
5
Bristleback's lane is
seconds.
going to be? Off or safe?
They're going to put him on the mid lane or the carry. This hero in the mid, it's decent because he plays super fast. He gets so much levels, and most of the mid laners can't do anything about him. They just watch him farm and they get zoned out because of the what's the name?
Spell spray?
I forgot the name. The spray, yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a
seconds.
fairly solid hero. Could also
5
be in the
seconds
safe lane
remain.
against the Beastmaster. You get rid of those pesky boars in no time. And you really need a safe lane. I mean, that's the thing with the Balrogs. They need a safe laner to deal with the Bristleback.
Radiant's
Because the
turn
rest
to
of their
battle.
lineup has been chosen. So that's the only thing that you have to be fearful of. What's a good hero against Bristleback? Something that maybe has a break, but PA also feels very dangerous against such a massive strength lineup. So, a couple of rough choices to be
10
made.
seconds remain.
If Balrogs, if Dreamers don't
5
ban Viper,
seconds remain.
I think Viper carry would be nice for Balrogs. Like, it's decent against everyone on Dreamers. Against
Dire's
PB,
turn
and
to
Downbreaker.
ban.
But it's not the ideal situation. It's not that carry that you're like, okay,
Radiant must
he's online.
choose.
But it's a really solid counter. And I don't think Dreamers can pick
Dire's
anything.
turn to pick.
Bloodseeker, it's a nice one too.
It's
It deals with Bristleback really well.
yeah, nice Inkswell, Soulbind, double Rupture. Also, actually, Bloodseeker is a really solid choice here because of the Shard. That's the reason
10
why the Bloodseeker is
seconds.
such a good hero in general these days. Because with the Shard, he just turns into a
5
Life Stealer
seconds.
with insane attack speed and godlike mobility, which is superb against 3 strength heroes and a Mirana.
Mars.
Your hero.
4 strength heroes and a
Make the
Mirana.
ultimate choice.
God, what a tanky bunch. It's an offlane Mars, so they're playing with the 5 position Dawnbreaker this time around. Say Flame Bristle and a mid Kunkka as you predicted indeed, Rayuur.
Bog.
Looking at these 2 drafts, give me your prediction. Who do you think is going to take home the bacon in game number 1?
I'm going for Balrogs because I have Moonstroke plus the Roar, the Snapfire, and Bloodseeker, who is a big deal against Bristleback and the Strength heroes. I think he's good in the lane also against Mars. I'm going with Balrogs this game.
Okay. I'm gonna, of course, to make it a little bit interesting, I'm gonna say the Dreamers are gonna take it. I believe in the Bristle Dream, and of course the Dawnbreaker as a support, preferably as a core, but he's got some nice sets on their side as well. So the Balrogs versus the Dreamers. Looking at these 2 lineups, what is kind of the window that they're aiming for? Do you think either of these teams wants to take it to super late, or are they just both going for that mid game brawl?
Let me check. I think Balrogs has a fast-paced game because they have Beastmaster, and I don't think Dreamers want to bring the game to the late game because I think Bristleback in the late game is a really strong hero, but he's going to feed. They have so much magic damage. Bloodseeker in the late game is a beast. They need to be careful. So I think Balrogs wants to finish the game fast, and Dreamers is trying to play into the mid game. I think their power spike is like 25 to 30 minutes of game. They need to finish the game when they get to this time. Everyone is going to be more stronger than Balrogs, and I think in the late game Balrogs is just better.
Okay. So a lot going in Balrog's favor in your eyes. Definitely curious to see what will transpire. Early stages, not much aggression coming out. They're just trying to guard the bounties. Should be an even Steven 2-for-2 trade. The way things are looking at the moment. The mid matchup, or in general, what matchup, what lane do you think most of the action will be coming through?
I think we're going to see a lot of action on top.
Will come later,
and
when you least expect it.
On the mid lanes, we're going to be more boring lane. Just right click. Use the pulse, Tidebringer, XD, and bottom, I think they're going to just straight farm.
Welcome one and all to
They can kill bottom, but they need to just commit so many mistakes on the Dreamer side. They need to miss the spear, Mirana needs to not press jump, but it's kind of hard. I think we're just going to see some action on top.
Okay, I mean, yeah, kind of agree. Both lanes have, all 3 lanes have a bit of kill potential. Mid is more if there's a rotation, for instance, with the Mirana coming through, and then you get the X mark into arrow combination, which is pretty scary. Top lane Chan already doing a lot of damage with Starbreaker level 1. It is a pretty strong level 1 hero.
Indeed.
And the Beastmaster going for the Wild Axes, which we've seen a lot more of lately because, of course, safe laners tend to have some ways of clearing the boards in half a second. So just getting those Wild Axes to be able to secure the range creep at the start of the laning stage, always a very big plus.
A nice way to push the lane also. I think most Beastmaster is just getting access to force a lane and get level 2 faster and try to hold the hard camp. I don't see anyone getting bored nowadays, level 1. Oh, just look at the damage.
Yeah, that is insane. How much damage is that?
It's a lot.
It's also not on that long of a cooldown. And then you get Celestia. Like, okay, trying to get the burn. They've got the armor reduction plus the slow. Stun comes up. The Beast Mouse is in trouble. You can't get close enough because, of course, the shotgun from Pamplona. But that definitely does throw a lot of threat in the top lane. Gonna cost a lot of mana though, and it's a little bit more problematic for the Bristleback until he gets his soul ring finished.
I think the way they are playing this lane right now, it's good for Balrogs. Shan needs to back up the lane. Just get a pull.
Pamplona is just constantly right-clicking, and it does very little damage. Oh,
But
no, the cookie.
He blocks the both camps of his own side.
Wait, who?
Shan.
He actually did. He placed that ward. How is that one in? This game is sometimes fairly weird. Okay, slight little mistake there from Chan.
No, I think it's 100% proposed though, but I don't think. Ah, the sentry was to unblock.
Oh.
The sentry was to guarantee there was no ward. Pamplona was blocking with the body. Oh, this makes sense. I was like, okay, what is Champ doing? He's a position 5 and he's blocking his own camp. His own small camp. What's going on?
Yeah, I was also wondering like what happened there, but I guess they just counter-warded it and it constantly kept going so the creeps didn't spawn. I was already very curious because it looked like the ward was like not in. But I've been bamboozled that way before in this game, where it just looks absolutely disastrous. First blood gets secured in the bottom lane, though top Chan does get dropped very low, but enough healing coming through. Kuka keeping them at bay, but it is first blood in the bottom lane secured for the Mirana. And Dark Demon, well, that's definitely a nice little plus added in. Does, of course... Actually, that is pretty neat. He dropped the Observer ward while he had the Bloodthirst still on him from the Bloodseeker.
Nicely done.
Yeah, this is so filthy. And they thought that he placed the ward. And then he healed up so that they didn't have vision of him anymore. And they actually got bamboozled. Dark Demon playing 4D chess.
That's why I like competitive Dota. That there's so much small things that players do that makes a big difference. It's always nice to see.
It cost the enemy 50 gold and a Sentry ward. And yeah, that is min-maxing. That is exactly what pros need to do to, well, become a pro. Using the enemy's abilities against them. Mid lane, yeah, not really much action going on. As you expected, fairly boring lane.
We're going to see some action when Void Spirit got 6.
The glyph is now active.
Shenanigans are fairly limited in most of these lanes. Just a little bit of harass. Top lane, La Sol was forced to go all the way back to base. He has level 2 wild axes, 2 enchanted mangoes, and a magic stick. His only goal right now is try and get some farm with those wild axes.
The mid lane, so arrow. Oh, he knows.
Benny's having some pretty sorry.
Oh,
okay,
the arrow mid.
Connected onto Robo Z. No ship on top. Okay.
Excellent by Dark Demon. He just arrow in front of the creep wave and manages to get Void Spirit. Nice play.
Okay, sneaky little gang coming in. I unfortunately missed that arrow.
And without vision. He had no vision.
So it was a pure snipe, not even an X-Mark combo?
Yeah.
Not lie,
Yeah.
but
That's
Just
impressive.
the prize
Yeah.
is mine.
I
It's
mean,
a beast
yeah.
with Mirana.
Shot.
Dark Demon, it's surprising to me that that wasn't one of the heroes that got banned. Considering both Pamplona and Dark Demon are very good Mirana players.
It's no small thing to be favored by the gods.
I don't think Mirana is the kind of hero that you want to ban in the first phase. There's more valuable
Radiant's
stuff
top
to
tower
just
is
ban.
under
Yeah, but to be fair,
Not
you
that
saw
hero-
like DK and Doom being banned. Currently, I don't really think that DK is that great after the couple of nerfs. I still think it's solid, but it doesn't really do that much. And you really don't want to play against, you know, people on their comfort heroes.
Look at the bottom. They want to kill Mars.
Of course.
Benny
Yes, he's dead. Benny.
does dodge the torrent. Rupture comes out onto Miji. Goship is going to connect. Benny dropping low. The Cookie to get him out of the way. Nice shotgun and Cookie, and that is Benny going to stay alive in the process by the
is
support
so
of the
sad.
Balrogs.
It's super sad when you're a mid laner and you just TP to get a kill and you do not get a kill and you use everything you have. You just walk of shame back to me.
Did this sun catch your eyes?
Super sad.
They're still looking pretty solid though. Lessel has 3 points in wild axes. It's been a very long time since I've seen an offlane Beastmaster go for that build. Maybe we get to see the Aghanim Scepter, the old school times.
Don't remember me the dark times.
I didn't think you had what it takes.
Lysix actually gets caught bottom lane. The two supports still roamed around the area. However, top lane, Lessel gonna get slowed up, and Sean will be able to smack him. Krika does take a lot of damage from those wild axes, though. When they stack up, 10 stacks of the debuff.
Yeah, need to be careful. But I think Kuka Hook is having the time of his life on this lane. He's free farming, it's okay. There's stacks, he's gonna farm the stacks. Everything's fine.
Did you think it was yours?
And, yeah. I'm missing all these kills in the bottom lane. Stop fighting in that area. I just wanted to look at Kuka, and I wanted to ask you the question. Is this just going to be a straightforward Aghanim Scepter Rush Bristleback build?
Yeah, I think Bristleback needs eggs every game. Not get eggs, going to be super sad. You need eggs if you're playing PB core every game.
I
don't
mean,
like
if you're
much-
playing BB support, then you're doing something else wrong.
Do not doubt people who play Dota, cause every rank it's like a nightmare. People just get random stuff happening.
I
Probably
missed the
someone
Ursa
here-
position 4 days.
Oh my god.
Those were great. Or the Luna position 4, where he had the 300 cast range silent at level 10. Ah, good old days.
Jesus.
I play
don't miss
filthy
this.
Dota.
I miss the old Wind Ranger with the cooldown reduction on the 25 and the eggs with 2 wind worms. I miss those times.
Look to their bottom tower.
Miggy?
Okay, X Mark goes ship, gonna connect. However, the arrow's not gonna add in. Miggy got himself ruptured. And there's gonna be an illusion room picked up by Robo C, while again the soul dies in the top
You're
lane.
probably feeling
Third
some
death
disappointment
already
right
on this
now.
Beastmaster. That's not looking good.
Yeah, I think he made a big mistake by just getting 3 points on axes. He just get 2 points like most of offlaners that play Beastmaster nowadays do. And they max the board so they can push the lane and they can farm the jungle. Right now he can farm the jungle and push the
Benny.
lane either. Bottom.
Smackdown. Yeah, that's the Dawnbreaker's ulti coming in. Dark Demon. Be a kill in return though. Probably. Yes, indeed. Dark Demon will falter. But they found themselves the Bloodseeker, and that is what matters. Look at that 4K net worth lead right now for the Dreamers.
Yeah, that's a big deal. It's because it just destroyed top. And Kunkka doesn't even farm the stacks. The stacks are still there.
Yeah, those are for the Bristle, who's going for that ag. As expected, Roar comes out onto Lysix. He's got his back turned towards his opponent. Does turn around, but is going to get smacked down. Miggy's here, though. And with the X mark, Ghost Ship, everything onto Lessel. Should be the Beastmaster being controlled up. The arrow comes flying in, won't be necessary. And it is another rotation for Meiji coming in, but currently it's looking pretty rough. That lead on those two main cores from the Dreamers is actually insanely high.
Yeah, you have Bristol back with Ags probably on 15 minutes. Super strong.
Then you get the hairball talent as well.
Balrogs know they have stacks. They know they have stacks instinct. Oh, Dex.
DD. Ooh, that arrow. Could have been some fun happening if it did manage to connect. But as you can see, Lissex, he's got the double braces walking around with 1500 HP. You've got Meiji with double bracers. He's walking around with almost 2k HP. Bristleback 1700 HP with the Vanguard. All three of the strength cores of the Dreamers are incredibly tough to kill. And then you also have a Dawnbreaker added in.
And they don't have Vessel.
Remember you in my celebrations.
They don't have Vessel. It's a big deal for Dreamers. Like, you can go Vessel on Void Spirit, but it's not the ideal situation. They're going to kill they have damage. Oh yeah, they have.
Heal comes out though, and Kuka's not even gonna drop just yet. Still alive, gets his quill sprays off. He is eventually gonna die. Benny's gonna look for more. Will find himself a secondary, but somehow Kuka still manages to stay alive long enough thanks to the heal to make sure RoboZ falters. While they take the tier 1 tower bottom.
If Mars had TP, the story would be different. Mars had TP in like 5 seconds after PP died. It's kind of sad. But I was expecting DPC not to die in this game. He has so much HP, but it's life. He almost has his BKB. They are on the timer right now. They just need the eggs on BB to just go forward.
Yeah, and that's the worst part. Like, they're so far ahead in 14 minutes time. Like, 5k is a pretty nasty lead, and this Bristleback ain't anywhere close to his final form yet. Once he gets that axe, he's gonna run around every single time with permanent warpath stacks, armor reduction on every enemy, slows on everyone. Which is really good against the Beastmaster and his minions, which he's finally leveling up. He actually went for the full level 4 wild axes.
Yeah, I'm not an offlane expert, but this seems strange. I don't agree. Feels like the hero is just weaker. He doesn't have Dominator, he can't farm the jungle, he doesn't have boards, he can't push lane. I don't know.
I do know some people that still go for like the Beastmaster wild axe build, but only in mid.
Going, yeah, like mid lane, it's too much specific. When you're just playing offlane Beastmaster, you just want to get the Zoo faster as you can because the Dominator just gives so much potential to your hero, and in the game makes the your team be way stronger than they are because the error that comes from the creep and the damage is way too higher than the Dominator. I think by the way, what he's doing is just kind of throw, you know.
He's just having a bad game. It happens.
No, I think this is decision, player decision. He just decides to get 4 points on the axe. The bad game was on the lane phase. Okay, he just got destroyed in the lane phase. You can get in the mid game and recover the game. But I think this is just bad decision.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that move either. However, he does play more Beastmaster than I do. I assume. Otherwise, that would be a very sad affair. RoboZ went for the Witchblade first item.
The game. They're just calming down, just with the Ags on the BKB. They already have the BKB on. Oh.
Then he's got some decent farm though. He's got the Maelstrom done, Mithril Hammer as well. The Bloodseeker can definitely get unleashed, even against if he gets his BKB plus shard afterwards, he can even take down a Bristleback with an axe.
Okay, DB has eggs. Time to smoke, guys. Walk into a lane.
I think Pamplona heard you, by the way. He's going for the Split Vessel on the Snapfire. Against the pretty immense amount of healing that the Strength lineup has.
Yeah, it's going to take too long. This vessel is probably coming on 22 minutes. If he farms, considering he does not get a kill.
Well, he's trying to push out that bottom lane the entire time. Chan is here though, but they don't. Chan's also got himself the Holy Locket finished and is going for the Ags next, so they're just gonna throw everything on that big fat team fight healing. The Dawnbreaker can bring Robo-Z. The spear misses, and he'll be able to get the run away.
Check how much aggressive Dreamers are playing right now because they have Ags on PV. I think they just should walk into the Russian and get the Russian.
Team fight wise, Balrogs don't really have much to really throw in the pit at this stage in the game. Robo-Z's gonna get spotted out by Lissex. And stunned. Arrow. I don't really know why Robo-Z was just walking there.
Me neither. I think he just had TP. It happens.
He's got 3 spells that are mobility based. Then the Beast passes towards the enemy's triangle. He's gonna go for the TP attempt. Will die, and a Bullwhip added in for Dark Demon. But yeah, they're just getting absolutely rolled by the
The
Dreamers.
wards on the side of Dreamers are excellent. You have wards, 2 wards protecting the jungle, the top jungle, and the bottom. These wards are really good. They have 1 deep ward on the jungle here to spot if anyone is farming top. And you have this ward right next to the Russian. So they have vision of the entire map. The lanes are all pushed.
They have 5 wards on the map.
Yeah, 5 wards on the map. I think they just need to go Russian. Like, just go Russian. I don't think Balrogs can fight in the Russian.
Yeah, it's going to be, especially against Ghost Ship Arena and the Dawnbreak ulti. Team fighting wise, Balrogs like have very little chance this game. They have a couple of nice combos for like a 2-hero pick-off with Soulbind, Double Roar and that like. But for the most part, it's going to be pretty rough to make anything actually happen in a big 5-on-5 team fight, especially with the Bristleback Axe included on the Dreamer side.
I think they have how they have ways to kill this Bristleback. They don't have Vessel. They need to spend everything on Bristleback, and if he dies, the team's going to kill everyone else.
The smoke
And he has
running,
H.
but it's too late.
Good job biting this guy 2 times.
You're gonna need a silver edge as well on Benny to make sure if something happens. Axe Mark back. The Soul Beastmaster is gonna get taken down. Gets the roar off. Double roar with that soul line. Double rupture as well. They will have Benny going for the fight, but Benny doesn't have the shard.
Look at the damage! Just look at the damage he's taking from Bristleback.
Kuka's on the chase. Arena from Lissex. Gets the guy, misses the spear. But there's the heal from Chan coming in as well. The arrow lands on to Robo-Z. And with, honestly, at this point, you might as well just GG out. There is no chance you kill the Bristle.
Yeah,
Twice.
they're 5 minutes ahead of the time that I just said on the beginning of the game that they would need to be on the power spike.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Just go top, push top, get a tier 2. Go slow siege.
We also have Dark Demon with the greatest item in Dota at the moment. The good old classic Wraithback. Against the lineup, well, the Snapfire can get rid of it technically pretty quickly, but the Snapfire doesn't want to get anywhere close to a team fight.
Yeah, he almost has Vessel, but he doesn't have any charges, so I don't think it's going to work.
And they have a BKB on the Kunkka. The Dawnbreaker is very close to his Ag, so you got that healing reduction, but he's got a lot of healing. Kunkka, Mars almost done with the BKB as well. Bristle, is that it? Okay, no, he's actually finishing up his boots right now. Going for the power threads.
And the Vessel is ready, 21 minutes.
Now just need to get a kill somehow. Maybe they can find the Marana. That's literally the only target they can kill at this stage.
Even getting a kill and getting 2 charges on the Vassal, it don't resolves the problem because BB has Aegis and Kunkka has BKB and a illusion run.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Guys, you need to defend top. Bristleback is doing a job here.
Oh. They come. Arrow's not going to connect.
Dyer's bottom tower
And yeah, he's just putting his back to the enemies, spamming away, forcing them all back. Like, there's nothing they can do realistically to fight against Kunkka. You need to kill him off twice. Even if you kill off his entire team, if you try to kill him twice, he's probably going to team wipe you. I think he can 1v5 at this stage with that Aegis. He's gonna lose his first life. Rupture gets used onto Miji. The arena comes out. Lissex misses a lot of spears this game. A lot of spells have been missed here. So Miji does have a ghost ship available. He's gonna drop it onto La Sol. The Beastmaster will be kept out of harm's way. And Kunkka, he really just wants to at least get the set of racks.
I don't know. They don't have arena. They don't have bolt.
Going in. Kunkka, gotta be careful. There's gonna be the heal. Is it gonna be enough to keep him alive? They get rid of Robo Z. Benny with the
Oh my
BKB. He's
God.
charging forward. The Shard's doing a decent amount of work, but eventually, if Kunkka gets a couple of hits in, he does do an extra 250 damage per auto attack. Look at that damage on the Bristleback.
I guess like they just don't care.
Yeah,
We
he's.
don't have arena. I don't care. We don't have bolt. We don't care. Just go.
If you lock him down, it's pretty nice, but at the moment he does 375 extra damage with each auto attack. Like, he gets a couple of seconds with that minus armor from the vicious nasal goo on you. Gone. Even though the Bloodseeker looked like he actually did a lot, doesn't matter. 3 hits, he was gone. 1600 HP against a hero that does 500 auto attack damage.
Yeah, Bloodseeker just standing in front of the 5 guys and just got melted in 2 seconds by Bristleback. Everyone was hitting Bloodseeker, but every hit that Bristleback does is like 500 HP.
This
Only
X.
DKB.
Yeah, very quick BKB. 5v5 is going to get caught. Kunkka is going for the rest of the team. Look at Rupture. Doesn't really care about the Rupture. Look at him just sprint while Rupture. That's just the showing of a real Chad. If he gets himself Blade Mill, he'll kill the Bloodseeker just running away.
That would be funny to watch.
I'm actually
Primus
baffled
just-
that they're still trying.
I don't think there's a game anymore. I agree with you. Just call GG, reset, go for the next game.
Radiant's bottom
Kunkka doesn't even have a BKB yet. It is going to be his next choice. The 6 months Shard plus Overwhelming Blink. Miji is going Scythe of Ice actually after the AC, which is more armor reduction and armor for your team. That's all. This time the spear is going to connect from this X, plus the arrow to boot. Robo-Z, double dive plus TP. Lanes, they're trying to push out the lanes as much as they can. But Dawnbreaker now has the axe available, and he's going for the Guardian Greaves for good measure. Every piece of healing he can add in. Beastmaster 072. He's been having a really rough showing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And yeah, why, like, how are you gonna stop Kunkka from just melting your buildings? Rupture. Oh, Lissex actually jumping in. The arrow comes flying out. Not gonna connect. Kunkka keeps 5 for 5 alive.
Roar?
Lissex actually in a bit of trouble here. But he does still have the BKB going in. Soulbind onto 2. However, they should be able to disengage because Kunkka is not the one that is soulbound. Benny pops the BKB. Kunkka does do a lot of damage, but there's the big fat juicy heal coming in. A very lengthy heal.
They're healing Bristleback. What is this?
Yeah.
Bloodseeker just healing Bristleback with the hits.
It's just the Bristol can't die, especially with the supporting cast behind him. The ghost ship buff, the fat Dawnbreaker heal, the arena, everything. GG gets called, and Dreamers just rolled the Balrogs in game number 1.
Has fallen. To the dire go the spoil.
Wow. I'm surprised.
这波不亏，666。
I was Balrogs all the time this game. On the draft phase especially.
The Dreamers looked, I mean, you gotta admit, the Dreamers looked pretty good this season.
Yeah. Just destroyed the game. Like, they won every lane.
You know,
Not mid lane though, because nothing nothing to do in the mid lane.
Well,
but,
to be fair, Dark Demon hit that beautiful arrow, as you said, that I didn't see, but it, that definitely did come through. But if you look at the kills, by the way, for the Dreamers, Kuka has 1 kill. Miji has 2 kills. Then you've got Shan, the position 5, with 5 kills. Dark Demon with 6 kills on the Mirana. And Lissex with 6 as well. The supportive cast, the X Omega Gaming lineup, doing just making sure all the kills get secured for the Dreamers.
the supports are just carrying the game, carrying the cores. That's what I like to see.
Definitely beautiful stuff from them.
Yeah, nice played by Dreamers. Clean game. They were really objective on the game, taking calm, did not diving like crazy. Because here on the SA scene, like, we see this most of the time. People are just winning the game, they just get too more excited and start to scream on Discord, go, 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 and they just free the game. They're very patient.
They played it very well. Also the items like Dawnbreaker with the Ags and Holy Locket. Then you had the Dark Demon. He went for, of course, the Wraithback, which is more damage reduction, keeping everyone, which are already heroes that barely could die on their team, to be even more survivable. And then Dark Demon went for the mech on top. So they had healing, 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 damage reduction on 4 strength heroes. There's no way Balrogs would be able to break through that massive defense.
There was too much aura on this game. Like, you had the Headers, the Holy Locket, the Heals, the Riftback, the Vladimir, the Mechans. You had the Assault. There's so much aura. It's hard to deal. Really well done. I think Bristleback is going to be banned the next series.
I would honestly
Or
also
they're
ban
going to-
the Dark Demon Mirana. Who cares if they pick a DK? No one cares if the enemy picks a DK. It's like a default hero. Anyway, but we'll have to wait for game number 2 to see that happen. Of course, we'll be going towards a short little break. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We'll be right back for game number 2.